What's up guys? My name is Ryan. Welcome to my channel. So tonight I am super excited because Josh and Luke are coming over. We're gonna have a good old-fashioned movie night, as Wasting Money 1 says. Haven't done one of these videos in a while, unless you count my MCU reviews. But tonight we are watching one of my favorite movies of all time, that being Knives Out, as the title says. I love this movie so much. Almost every even little thing about it is just amazing, phenomenally put together film. Josh and I have both seen this film a bunch of times, but Luke has not seen the film. I'm super excited to show him. I think I know he's gonna love this. So we're gonna watch Knives Out and then give our thoughts after. Hope y'all enjoy. Josh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. So we just got done watching a great film. What are your thoughts, brother?
So I've seen Knives Out a bunch of times prior to this. I've probably seen it about 5 or 6 times prior to this. I feel like Knives Out is one of those films that it's... I don't think a perfect film exists, but there's films that get pretty dang close to perfect.
Definitely.
And I think Knives Out is the type of film that gets about as close to perfect as you can get. I mean, I don't know what you would ask, what more you'd want from a film, really. It's got good writing, it's got good characters. You could say that the killer is pretty obvious, but I don't feel like they're really hiding that, except for the fact that they are not revealing it. But they're just telling you the story of this girl, Marta Cabrera, and how she relates to the Thrombys and the family, right? Mm-hmm. And so I feel like it's just one of those films. It's just perfect. The soundtrack, the score is really good. The comedy hits. I think something that I enjoy doing is whenever I go back and watch it, I get to pick up little details.
Yeah,
here and there.
Definitely.
Not really even in relation to the murder trial or to the whodunit part of it, but just like even like that whole side of the family that is Linda and Richard's side of the family. I think it's hilarious because they all just, I don't know if you caught this at the very end. So initially at the beginning.
Oh, hold on. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry, but continue, Josh.
No, dude. Honestly, if you haven't seen Knives Out by now, you deserve to get spoiled. The film came out a long time ago. The film came out a long time ago. But initially, the family says she's from Ecuador. Then the family says she's from Paraguay, and then the family says she's from Uruguay. And then Ransom at the very end said Brazil. I don't know if you caught that part. But he actually said Brazil. So they literally, that specific side of the family said 4 different areas that she's from, which is very funny because that obviously shows that they do not give a crap about Marta.
Yeah, they don't.
They just want her money. They just want the money. They just want the benefits, and nobody in that family cares for her. So obviously she gets to play the rules now because it's her house. I mean, just a really enjoyable film. I don't think there's any more I could add to it. I mean, the film's pretty much like I'll give it a 10 out of 10. It's a
Amen.
But it's like a borderline perfect film.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the few ones.
All right, Luke.
Howdy.
So you're the only one here who has not seen this film before. This was your first time.
So, first time.
What did you think?
It was an excellent movie. At least 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Could even go up on a rewatch.
Yes.
There were probably plenty of details that I missed there.
Oh, yes.
But I will say that this film amazed me because it kept me guessing who the murder might be, until I was stuck on the main character being the murderer. Oh, spoiler alert. But
we said that already.
Yeah.
So feel free.
I did not expect the plot to twist around to them zooming in on the other guy with all the
Ransom.
details. Ransom.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting her to have to keep trying to figure out how to, not puke every time she was like, or try to like at least white lie or just lie by omission. There were those elements in play there, and what I also liked was the mix of old technology with the new technology, which kind of added a great humor element to it. I was expecting this to just take place and whatever, I don't, before I was born, I guess, all the technology there was like. But then they threw like a few iPhones in it, and then they threw like Instagram and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, and then teenagers being on their phones, that kind of thing. It was a dream to those and before our time. But They threw some of that stuff in there, and that made it quite hilarious. But they also had a great sense of humor overall.
Oh, this film is hilarious.
I'd honestly have more to say about it on a rewatch, but it was great.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I actually had something else I wanted to add.
Okay.
Yeah, something else that I saw in this film. Well, the only thing I have against this film, and like I said, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that I really was thinking about more, and it doesn't make any sense actually. So
What?
when she gives him the wrong medicine, she gives him the right. Okay, we know at the end of the film she gave him the right stuff first. Like the good stuff was given to him first,
Uh-huh.
and then before she gives him the bad stuff or the morphine, she says, "I gave you 100 milligrams of the good stuff." Okay, here's why this doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
Because the label on the morphine is the actual stuff that you can give 100 milligrams to.
Yeah.
The stuff that had the bad stuff, she gave 100 milligrams.
Also,
So you see what I'm saying here?
Kind of.
So-
like, it's kind of tricky because, like, the vials are switched,
So but this
but,
is what
like,
I'm saying.
she switches them back,
Yeah, so he didn't.
and she doesn't
switch-
know.
But
so-
here's the thing. He didn't switch the labels on them. He switched the liquid that was in the vial.
Yeah.
But here's why this. But you see where I'm catching from? Like where this doesn't make any sense.
kind of.
Because she gave 100 milligrams of the good stuff when it was in the vial that was labeled morphine. She then looked at the other thing, and it said bad stuff. But he had just asked for the bad stuff. So she was only going to inject him with 3 milligrams of this, even though the vial said,
Mm.
you see what I'm saying? The vial says that this is the good stuff.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
You
I'd
see
have to
what-
watch it back.
You see what I'm saying? Like, why would
But-
she have grabbed that vial? Because she looked at the label, saw that the vial said that this is the good stuff that you can give 100 milligrams to, but she picked it up. You know, you see what I'm saying? I don't know. There's just a little bit of confusion there. That's the only thing. I thought too deeply about it in the film, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking way too hard on this. I just got to turn off my
maybe.
brain a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe
they did a double switch on us.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
like
got.
I said, it's confusing because like the vials were switched and then she switches them back, but like she doesn't know that, and it's just kind of confusing
Yeah, that's
a little
the only
bit.
thing, like, how did she? But and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some like plot hole there. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, there's a couple little plot holes in this film.
But I
But-
mean, but like I said, I wouldn't. That doesn't affect my score because I think the film is just that good. I don't give a crap.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is one of my favorite films of all time. So I saw this in theaters with my mother and my cousin when it first came out, and I liked it the first time I saw it. And so with mysteries, the rewatchability is always like 50-50 because make a murder mystery watchable, the journey has to be just as fun and as great as the reveal.
Agreed.
And Rian Johnson does exactly that with this film. The dialogue here, it's hilarious. It's so fun and entertaining to watch and listen to these people talk. This was brilliantly written. Just the more I watched this film, it went up for me, and before I knew it, it was one of my favorite films of all time. The cast here is great. Daniel Craig is Benoit Blanc. I've said it before. He's one of my favorite fictional characters. I love his southern drawl. I actually saw a clip recently of Rian Johnson talking about how he wanted to make Blanc's voice very pleasing to the ear, and Blanc's voice is very pleasing to the ear. Wouldn't y'all agree? It's very nice to listen to. Ana de Armas as Marta. This was the first thing I ever saw her in, and after I saw this film, like it's probably one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in a film, and I was like, what else is she in? I have to see more stuff that she's in. Because when Harlan slits his throat and she's like crying and all that, that was like perfect. That's exactly how someone would react to that situation. I didn't feel like it was over the top or anything. It was like just right. You buy the facial expressions and the tears streaming down her face, and when she sees him actually slit his throat and like put her hand to her mouth, it was so effective.
It was.
Everyone else, the Thrombey family, Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, I think her name is Ricky Lindholm, Catherine Langford, everyone here, perfectly cast, does such a great job. I could go on and on about how much I love this film, and every time I watch it, I pick up on some more details and all that. So I could ramble for days about this film, but I'll try and talk about only like the big things I love about this film. One thing I do love about this film is, in our Gentleman review, I said that I had a hard time giving it a high score because this film is about these terrible people doing terrible things. And yes, it's a fun situation to watch, but to be a great film to me, you need to have a subordinable character who's good and doing good things. And the Thrombey family are, it's kind of funny, when you first watch the film, they seem like a normal, like, just your average quirky family with their regular family squabbles, but as you go along, like Josh said, they say a different country every time they talk about where Marta's from. They don't even care. You initially think they're just a regular weird family, but as the film goes along, you see, oh, these are all terrible people. All terrible people. So that was just amazing, and I love the twists and how from the very beginning it keeps you hooked and interested, even when you think, sometimes I'll show this film to people and they're like, why did they just give you the reveal in the middle of the film? And that's what my thoughts were the first time I saw this. I like those little details they say in the film that kind of give you hints as to what's really going on after Marta explains what happened that night with Harlan. Those little details you don't think about, they come back around, and when Blanc mentions at the end, like, that Marta's story like fills the hole perfectly except for one thing, who hired him. I completely forgot about that until he mentioned that at the end. And the reveal at the end where we find out that Chris Evans, Ransom, did it is just mind-blowing. I just loved Blanc's monologue when he's explaining how Ransom did it and everything, and I love the relationship between Marta and Blanc and how he calls her Watson, and he kind of makes her his confidant in his investigation and everything. And gosh, almost every line Blanc has, I just love, especially when he's talking about Gravity's Rainbow. And he's like, it's a novel, and Marta's like, oh, I know, I haven't read it. And then he's like, neither have I, nobody has, but I like the title. And then he's like, voila, my method. And then he's like, I follow the facts wherever they lead, without bias to the head or heart. I stroll leisurely to its terminus, and the truth falls at my feet. And I just love, like, all his lines, I'm like, that is such a detective thing to say. I just love how he desires to get the truth, and he's not like Elliot and Trooper Wagner, who just kind of brush this off as a suicide. He knows something suspicious is happening, and he keeps going until he gets to the truth and figures it out. I just love that about his character, and he's just a nice, good guy. Like, he's the first person to console Harlan's mother, Great Nana. Like, I didn't even notice that. I completely forgot about that. Like, he's the first person to, like, talk to her about it and offer condolences. Like, the rest of the family just doesn't care. He's just such a nice guy talking to her. Marta, she's like I said, the Thrombey family is a bunch of terrible people. This film is, like, filled with a bunch of terrible people doing terrible things. They only care about each other. Like Blanc says, they're a pack of vultures at the feast, knives out and beaks bloody. They would all stab each other in the back to get what they want. This film is filled with terrible people, but Blanc and Marta are like the lights in the darkness. They're supportable, they're likable. I think this film has a good message about how, like, being a good person and doing the right thing, like, goodness wins in the end. Like, Marta is being influenced by all these terrible people. Blanc says at the end that, like, you need to remember you won not by playing the game Harlan's way, but yours. You're a good person. And then I love when she says, this family, I should help them, right? And he's like, oh, I have my opinion, but I have a feeling you'll follow your heart. And then the last scene is her drinking the cup of coffee that says my house on it when the zombies are all looking up at her. That was amazing. But Marta is, like I said, just kind of like the light in the darkness. I love how she's kind of being influenced to play, like, the Thrombeys kind of look at life as like this game, and Marta's not playing. She's not playing their games. She's being influenced by these terrible people, and in the end, like, yes, she does give in to that influence, but in the end, she does the right thing, and because she's a good person and does the right thing despite the bad influence, she wins in the end. So I just think there's a lot to pull out of this film the more you watch it. There's so many interesting little details about it. You go into the making of this film, which we don't have time for. But Knives Out is just such a great film. 10 out of 10, easy. Now, does that mean it's a perfect film? No, I don't think a perfect film exists. A 10 out of 10 means it is as close to perfect as you can get. The reveal is a bit confusing and convoluted at times. There are a few plot holes here, but everything else is just done so masterfully. The music, I need to look this up. Whoever did the music for this film, phenomenal job, especially the ending song where the Thrombies are looking up at Marta in their house. I think that's all I have to say about Knives Out for now. But do y'all have anything else, guys? Or can I take us out?
Take us out.
All right. Hey guys, sorry, just had to mention one more thing. I just absolutely love the little quirk Marta has about how she can't lie without vomiting, and then when she vomits on Ransom at the end, that is the most, like, the villain got what was coming to them scene ever, and it's like, yes, when that happens. I know I showed this film to one of my friends, and when that happened, they were like, that was hilarious to see her reaction to that. And then when Marta says to Ransom, "You're an a-hole," and then she's like the most sweet, innocent girl, and when she says it, it's like, bruh, she's never sweared in her life. That was the first time she ever sweared, and oh my gosh. I'm not for swearing, but that was just amazing. Gosh, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna be going to bed tonight and driving to church tomorrow morning and be like, oh, I should have said this about it and this about it. Like, this was great about the film, this was great about the film, but oh my gosh, just Knives Out is such a great film, guys. Just go watch it. Even if you've seen it a bunch of times already, just go watch it. It's stinking amazing. And with that, guys, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of Knives Out if you've seen it. I would absolutely love to talk about Knives Out with y'all. I could talk forever about it. Got a lot of fun things planned, so stay tuned. Fantastic Four review should be out next weekend. Super excited for Fantastic Four. I also plan on reviewing Glass Onion or Knives Out 2 soon. Really wanted to review both Knives Out films before Wake Up Dead Man comes out in December. Also, I will be rewatching and reviewing Wednesday Season 1 soon, since Season 2 comes out in a couple weeks, or starts to, and then I'll probably give my full review of the season when it's over with. But I got a bunch of fun things planned, so stay tuned. But y'all have a blessed morning, day, afternoon, night, whatever time it is when you're watching this video, and I'll see y'all later.